Hello and welcome to livealittlehigher.com. Today we continue with our series on Living Happy, the Hasidic approach to joy by Rabbi Shlomo Majewski. And last week we were talking about how important it is to remember to be happy, just because we know that everything comes from Hashem, everything is divine providence, and it comes from a good place. Nothing bad can come from God. So this concept, we have been working on it for a few weeks already, and it comes in different ways. So today we're going to talk about tests and challenges. How do we approach this way of thinking when things happen to us that are very challenging? Like, for example, if a person is blind and the Torah tells them they have to keep certain mitzvot, but because of they're blind, they can't keep the mitzvahs. They can't do Hashem's will. So how does this come into grips with what we're saying? It would seem like a very unfair world in which God is asking us things that we cannot fulfill. But in reality, God challenges us in ways so we can bring out the biggest part of ourselves. We judge ourselves very harshly, and Hashem doesn't judge us the same way we judge ourselves. And He knows exactly what we're capable of. So let's go into this chapter 6 on confronting challenges. And here it starts talking about the test, the nisayon. Why does Hashem have to test us? And there's a very simple explanation in the Torah, which says that the test that God sends us is not really for Him to know where we're standing. Hashem knows us perfectly. He's the one that created us. He made us with so much love. Every little thing we are and we express in our lives really was put into ourselves by Him. So the test really doesn't come to show God how good or how bad we are. The test really comes from Hashem, so we can know ourselves, so we can know where we're standing in life. So for example, if you're paying a bill and you give $200 and the bill was $150 and you get in return $70 instead of $50, this is a test. This is a test that God is sending you. But God doesn't need to send you the test to know Himself what you're going to do, because He already knows what you're going to do. He's above time, He's above space, He's above everything. So He knows what you're going to do, but it's for you to know where you're standing. So if you're a person that is truthful and is a person who is proper and righteous, obviously you're going to go and return the $20 extra they gave you. You're not going to keep them. But if you have a challenge inside of you that it's brewing, and you're like, oh, they're not going to realize it, they're not going to know if I gave them back or not, they're going to think, maybe they don't even see that they are missing $20, what do they care? Then the test is for you to see where you're standing, and maybe you can look inside and you say, okay, I'm not such a righteous person. I have to work on this midot. I have to work in this character trait. This is not right. I have to be an honest human being, and maybe I am not so honest. So the test really is to challenge you and to see, for you to see yourself in the mirror and for you to see where you're standing. So there is a deeper concept in these challenges of God testing us, and it's a beautiful explanation, a Hasidic explanation about the test. And it says that the nisayon, the test, also is lenasos, which means to test, and can also mean to raise high. So in reality, Hashem is not only testing us so we can show ourselves where we're standing in our lives, where we stand as people, if we are honest or not honest, if we can manage our anger, if we can manage our words, what we say. It's also to give us an opportunity to rise ourselves into a higher place. So once you pass the test, you really are going to put in a higher level than you were before. So if there's things in your life that repeatedly happen to you, that is like there's a thread that are always repeating themselves in your life, these are tests, and they're going to continue until you get the point, until you say, okay, I have to change this. This is something I have to really work on myself. And once you pass the test, then these tests will never happen to you again, because you already are in a different level. So this is not going to happen to you. You don't need to see this part of you again, because you already overcame it. So there's two dimensions to our personality. There's a revealed dimension and there is a hidden dimension. So the revealed dimension of our personality is what we know of ourselves. So you know you're a kind person, you know that you're a good daughter, you know that you are a good wife, you know that you're kind, that you're loving, that maybe you're a little bit lazy. So this is the things that you know about yourself. But then there's another part of yourself, there's another dimension that is a hidden dimension. And these are parts of yourself that you don't even know you have. These are strengths that you don't even know you possess. So there's a parallel level in the physical sense. For example, we can see sometimes people that physically they're not so strong, and suddenly when they're put into certain situations, their strength comes out. So we've heard stories about people that, for example, there's a story of a man that he's fixing his car and he puts it up in the jack, and suddenly the jack falls and the foot of his daughter is inside of the car underneath, and it's squished. And suddenly this guy with one hand, all the adrenaline is flowing on him, and suddenly with one hand he's able to lift the car and take the girl out and take her to the hospital, and the only thing she needs is a cast because she broke a leg, but nothing worse happened to her. So you ask the guy, how did you do it? And then he says, I don't know. I tried later on to lift the car with the two hands and I couldn't even lift it. So when we're put physically to a challenge, the adrenaline, the hormone adrenaline starts flowing inside of us and gives us this potential that under normal circumstances we wouldn't be able to do. Then we also have it in our emotions. So for example, a mother loses a child in the supermarket, and she can't find him, and 15 minutes have gone by and she's going crazy, and suddenly she realizes how much she loves her kid and how much she yearns for her kid, and these emotions start flowing out. It doesn't mean that the mother doesn't love the kid. She loves him always. But when put to a challenge, put to a test, then another hidden part of this mother's love will flourish out, like a bigger love that she had, but she didn't know she had until she has this feeling that maybe she's going to lose her child. And also there is a parallel level in the intellect. So for example, a teacher, a melamed, a teacher, I teach Torah. So sometimes I'm confronted by questions that my students give me that have to put me in a different level. They challenge me. So it's not like I'm going to come and teach the parish of the week and it's okay, I'm going to teach this little thing and that's it. No, suddenly the student comes with this huge question that I can't answer. And I have to be honest. I have to say, you know what, I don't know the answer, let me go and check it out. And this will put me in a different level intellectually, where I'm going to have to push myself to a different degree of teaching and of learning and grow myself. So these are examples of how challenges and tests really are opportunities for growth, and they bring out a bigger part of yourself that you don't really know you have. There's a beautiful story to end this of Rabbi Susha of Annapolis and his brother Elimelech, and they're going to a town, and they really look like very poor people. And this town, they didn't like people to come and ask for money. So the police come and they take them into jail. They put them in the jail in a cell with a few other people. And the time for the prayer of the afternoon, the Mincha prayer comes, and Rabbi Elimelech starts crying because there's a toilet in the cell and it smells very bad. And by halacha, you cannot pray in a place that smells not good, that smells bad. So he starts crying and he starts saying, oh no, it's the first time in my life I'm going to miss the prayer, I'm going to miss this prayer. Hashem is going to be so upset at me, and how am I going to do? I'm going to miss the prayer. And Rabbi Susha looks at him and says, Elimelech, why are you crying? The same God that tells us to pray at this time is the same God that is telling us not to pray when there's a bad smell in the room. So at that moment, Rabbi Elimelech, he made a click and he realized, yeah, Hashem is just showing me how much, he wants me to know how much I love him, and I'm going to keep his will. If I have to, if I can pray, I'll pray, and if I can't pray, I won't pray. So by looking at Elimelech's reaction to what his brother Susha said to him, that he was serving God either way, if he prayed or he didn't pray, he came to that realization that everything was just a test from God. So he could know, so Elimelech could know where he was standing in his love for God. So this is the purpose of a test. When a person serves God under ordinary circumstances, he develops a love for God. We all have a love for God. We're grateful for our families, for our homes, for our health. We always have something to be grateful about, and this develops loving feelings towards Hashem. But when we're put to the test, and when we're put into extraordinary stress and situations, then we can develop a deeper love for God. A God that we didn't even know, a love that we didn't even know we had inside of us. So every one of us contains a potential for much deeper love, but that deeper love does not surface under ordinary circumstances, and it is only a challenge to a person's commitment to God that can spur this deeper dimension of love to surface. So every time you're put to the test or given an opportunity of growth, just concentrate in this concept, and you'll see how you will be able to tap into your potential, and you will be able to live a little higher. So I wish you a good week and a blessed week, and see you soon. Thank you.